Alright, here's our sloka book. These are all the slokas we're going to learn over the next few months. So I went through the whole book and put notes and markers for all the important slokas we're going to learn. It's about 80-90 slokas here. And then from there we'll go to, I think we'll intersperse it with some Vilapkusumanjali slokas. So we'll learn some of these, then we'll learn some Vilapkusumanjali slokas, then we'll learn some more Gita slokas. Bhakti Jivan Janardhan Maharaj, one great disciple of Bhaktisanta Prabhupada. I turn it on. It's running. Abhiram. So Bhakti Jivan Janardhan Goswami Maharaj, he would learn a new sloka every day, even until he was like 90 years old. Actually, it said he learned 2 new slokas every day, even until he was right before he left this world. And it said until he finished learning the new slokas, he wouldn't eat or drink or anything. And he would learn the new slokas and then put them on paper and do parikrama of the slokas with Tulsi also. Parikrama is making relationship actually. Like if you look at Vedic custom, when you get married to someone, you circumambulate the fire together. You do parikrama and the fire is the witness. Like in an altar, you have a witness like a priest. If you want to do any like kind of trust or any deed or marriage in the West or anywhere, you have to have a witness. So in the Vedic tradition, the fire, Agni Dev, is the witness. And you circumambulate Agni, and he's the witness. And then the why do you circumambulate? This is binding a relationship. It's like tying a knot, tying a thread 7 times around. That's why we're every day doing parikrama of Tulsi 3-4 times a day, doing parikrama of the deities, doing parikrama of Vaishnavas, of Vrindavan, of Govardhan. It's making relationship. So this Bhakti Jivan Janardhan Maharaj, he would do this with the slokas. Because yesterday we talked about how to make relationship with the slokas, right? First you memorize, then you internalize, and then you realize. And the whole process is part of the process of making relationship, sambandha. When a girl gets married in India, when they first get betrothed, what they first do is they won't meet initially, but they'll give a picture of the groom or her husband-to-be, and she'll start cooking and sending sweets, and she'll start learning about him. And then finally, they build relationship like this after a long time. Finally, they come together for the marriage ceremony, and then they bind this relationship. So what we're doing is first we're getting to know the scriptures, but then we make a relationship with them over time. Like the first day you meet someone, you don't know them completely. It takes time to get to know them perfectly. And so it's a process. But first you have to know about the basic, we talked yesterday about Gyan, what is basic knowledge, and then Vigyan, realization. So first we're memorizing it, it's developing Gyan, knowledge, spiritual knowledge. But then by internalizing it, by meditating on it, like a relationship, it will develop. That's why this Bhakti Jivan Janardhan Maharaj said every day of your life to try to learn something new. When many people come to Prabhuji to have his darshan, like many different men and Brajbasis, then he always tells them, even in their old age, you should continue doing some kind of work or learning something. He said, as soon as you stop learning, as soon as you stop working, then it means very soon you'll die. Because what is the point of your life then? He said, you should continue learning, continue working, doing something useful in society. So that's what we're trying to do also. We're learning it. Learning the scriptures is seva and sadhana also together. And it's all about making relationship. And then they will reveal themselves to us by their mercy. So this point goes into the question you asked the other day. Right? So when we make relationship, ultimately it's by their mercy because they're on a higher position than we are. They're transcendental. Krishna's own Vani, we heard, Krishna's teachings, or Sastra comes from Krishna. And Krishna's teachings in himself are connected, non-different. So they're on a higher level. It's called aparoksaj. Paroksaj is what we can see in this world with our material senses. But aparoksaj is what is beyond our material senses. So Krishna is transcendental, nirgun. He is beyond our senses. So without his mercy, without him coming down to our level, we cannot understand him or make any relation with him. That's why in the Bhagavatam it said, Anugrahaya bhaktana manusham deham ashrita. To give his mercy to the devotees, he took the form of a human that we could perceive and have some understanding of. So the same thing is there for the acharyas or the Vaishnavas or Krishna's associates. They come to this world and appear in a form that we can relate with and understand. And through that we can start to make relation with them. Yadrisam tadrisi krida. That Krishna performed his playful pastimes in the human form so that we could understand him and make connection with him. And by that process then we could escape samsara and be with him in a loving relationship. So your question yesterday was, we learned this verse. So we'll just go over this verse we learned. Bhaktistu bhagavad bhakta sangena parijayate satsanga prapyate pumbi sukritir purva sanchitai. Hari Bhakti Vilasa 10-7-9. So what it says is, Bhaktistu bhagavad bhakta sangena parijayate. How do we get bhakti? Sangena parijayate. Parijaya means awakens. So devotion awakens by Bhaktistu bhagavad bhakta sangena. Bhagavad bhakta sangha. By association with the devotees of Krishna. Then parijayate awakens bhakti. And then how do we get that association? Satsanga prapyate pumbi. Pumbi means people like us. Satsanga prapyate pumbi. Prapyate is to obtain. So we obtain satsanga by sukritir purva sanchitai. By sukriti from our past activities or our past lives or past karma. Right? Sukritir purva sanchitai. So the question comes, what is this sukriti? Because we can see Sukriti becomes the catalyst for our spiritual awakening, right? Sukriti is the catalyst. So what is the Sukriti? So Sukriti means some kind of pious merit. Merit means you've done some good deed and it's given you like some spiritual bank balance or something, like a currency. It's like currency. How do you get money in this world? You work and you get some remuneration for it. You do some type of work and you get paid for it. So in spiritual life, Sukriti means you do some good kind of deed and then you get some spiritual currency for it, spiritual merit. That's Sukriti. And when that currency develops to enough, then you get satsanga, association with God's own associates. See, satsanga really means association with those who are on the sadvastu, the transcendental level of the absolute truth. That is the meaning of sat. Sat means absolute truth. So satsanga really means association with those people on that platform of absolute truth. So God's own associates, by Sukriti you can come into their association. So then the question came yesterday is, what is more important, Sukriti or mercy? Sukriti or where's the place for Guru's mercy if it is only by one's own Sukriti? Sukriti purva sanchita. In this verse it says, by development of one's Sukriti. And in this case, it's referring to Bhakti Unmukhi Sukriti. That means, because you can have different kinds of Sukriti, like different kinds of jobs and different kinds of money, wealth that you develop, right? So Bhakti Unmukhi Sukriti means pious merits that are favorable and inclined towards devotion or devotional service. Bhakti Unmukhi Sukriti. So the question was, what is more important, Sukriti or mercy? So therefore we need to talk about this. It's very important. So first of all, we need to understand that Sukriti is part of the whole process. It's not its own factor, like it's the one and only thing. Sukriti is part of the process of the development of bhakti. And what is that process of development? What's the starting point of that process of development? There's a famous sloka we often hear. It's in Charitamrita. Brahmanda Brahmite kon bhagyavana jeev Guru Krishna prasade by bhakti lata bij. Tate Krishna bhajekar Gurur sevan maya jal chute pai Shri Krishna charan. That Brahmanda Brahmite kon bhagyavana jeev, a very fortunate soul, after wandering throughout many universes or throughout many lifetimes, comes into contact with Krishna's own associates, Guru or Vaishnavas, and receives their mercy. Guru Krishna prasade by bhakti lata bij. And then they receive this seed of their inherent pure spiritual natural love for God, for Krishna. Bhakti lata bij, bhakti is internal in the heart. It said, Nitya siddha Krishna prem sadhya kabunai shravanadi shuddha chitta kore udhai. That Krishna prem, pure love for God, is intrinsic characteristic of the soul. It's unalienable. You cannot take it away from the Atma, or you cannot give it. It's there. It's hidden in a dormant or latent nature, position. So the question is how to awaken it. So Guru awakens that by his mercy, Bhakti Lata Bij, and he gives this creeper of devotion. But that's by his mercy. Guru Krishna Prasade by Bhakti Lata Bij. So that's the point of mercy. So this is the thing, is that mercy is in the entire process. There's not any part of the process that we can take mercy out of the equation and still get prem and bhakti. We must get mercy. Guru is like the hand of God reaching out to us to bring us to Him. You can think of it like that. So if God doesn't reach out His hand to us, Guru Krishna Prasade Bhai is connected. Guru Krishna Prasade Bhai. It doesn't say Guru Prasad or Krishna Prasad. Guru Krishna Prasade Bhai, Bhakti Lata Bij. That's why we sing every morning. Shakshad Haritvena Samasta Shastra Yuktasya Tava Bhadeva Sadbi Kintu Pravoya Eva Priyatasya Vande Guru Sri Charanadavinda. We pray to Gurudev because we say, you are Shakshad Hari. You are the very embodiment of all the qualities of Krishna, Hari. Krishna says, Acharya Mam Vijanayam Navamadeta Karichit Namartya Buddha Suyeta Sarva Deva Mayo Guru. Guru is the embodiment of all the gods and all the qualities of the gods. Because he is empowered by Krishna and sent by Krishna. He is the hand of God, the messenger of God, coming to bring us to him. So that is an act of mercy. Because it's who is on the higher platform coming down to the lower platform, extending himself to us. So this is what I want to say, is that without Guru's mercy or God's mercy, there's no chance for us even to develop Sukriti. This is an important point. What is Sukriti? So I'll come to the point gradually, okay? But first we have to think about this. It's God's mercy to extend himself to us in this world. Even his creation and this world is an act of his mercy for us as a training place so that we can learn how to approach him with love and come to him and become qualified and eligible to enter his own realm. For those who are the errant souls who have turned away, become Krishna Bahirmukh, they've turned away from him, they don't want to live in his world. They want to live independently as gods themselves. They want to try and become gods themselves, and because we're trying to be gods ourselves, we're all fighting with each other as little gods. So Krishna has created that facility for us because he's given us free will. He's given us independence. Okay, you want to do that? Go and do it. He gives us that opportunity. Let's see what time it is. He gives us that opportunity. Okay, but now, then he also sends his own associates, and he himself comes out of his mercy. Anugrahaya bhaktanam manusham dehamashrita. Anugrahaya means out of his mercy he comes. Out of his mercy he also sends his associates. Gurudev came. Srila Gurudev came by Krishna's mercy. So then how do you develop Sukriti? Now we come to the question. Guru is God's mercy reaching out to us. Guru is described to be Karuna Gana Vigraha, the very embodied form of Krishna's mercy. So Sukriti, Bhakti Unmukhi Sukriti means something done without knowledge or with knowledge, but for the sadhu, for a Vaishnava. So different examples are given of Sukriti. So Sukriti may be, okay, you may be a wealthy businessman and you may think, okay, I'm going to open a charity center and I'll distribute water in the dam or in the city or somewhere, give out free water. Like we have different facilities like that. Or I'll give out free food or some cloth. And if a sadhu comes and accepts that service, then you develop Bhakti Unmukhi Sukriti, not ordinary Sukriti. Ordinary Sukriti will lead you to like heavenly enjoyment, bhoga, enjoyment, aishwarya, opulence, but not Bhakti. Bhakti Unmukhi Sukriti comes by mercy also. Why? Because if the sadhu doesn't come to this world, then how can we get Sukriti? If God's mercy doesn't reach out to us in this world as Guru, as Vaishnav, also Vaishnav is Guru. Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj said, who is the real Guru? He said, the real Guru, the Mahabhagavat, the pure devotee, sees everyone else as Guru. And he always remains humbly in the position of considering himself the servant. So Vaishnav is also Guru. Real Vaishnav is Guru. If they didn't come to this world, if Krishna's associates didn't come out to this world, if Krishna didn't reach out to us, then there would be no chance to make Sukriti. No chance. So when a sadhu accepts some service, then this develops into Bhakti Unmukhi Sukriti. So like, for example, Raghunath Das Goswami and Jagannath Puri, he was so humble and he was so renounced that when they would have, he wouldn't like take opulent foodstuffs or prasadam. He would go and beg from a soup kitchen once a day. He would take from the soup kitchen, and so someone paid for that. That person who started that facility is getting Sukriti now, Bhakti Unmukhi Sukriti, by serving a sadhu. Raghunath Das Goswami would beg alms outside of Jagannath Mandir and people would come and give him something to eat. Then they develop Sukriti. They may not know he's a sadhu, okay, he's another beggar, I'm just feeding him. But if a real devotee accepts this service, then that's very powerful Sukriti. So this is for India, but what about the West? This is it's very easy for us to understand this in the Western countries now. What comes first, mercy or Sukriti, or what's more important, mercy or works? In the Christianity, they have this debate going on for centuries. What is more important, works or grace? Your own activity or God's mercy? Your own work, karma, or God's mercy? What's more important? See, the thing is, both are essential. Both are essential because you may be sent to school, but if you resist learning anything, then you're not going to learn. In English, you say you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. So Leading the horse to water is God's mercy, but you have to drink. You have to drink. You have to make the effort. Gurudev said in Badger, we went, not in Badger, in Houston. We went with the school to Houston once. I don't know if you were there at that time. And Nitya asked him, how do we get your mercy? And he said, my mercy is always flowing like a river. It's up to you if you want to jump in. God's mercy is always available. It's up to us if we want to jump in. His mercy is there for us. Right? So therefore, it said, Sukriti Purva Sanjatai, without God's mercy and Guru's mercy, Vaishnava's mercy, we wouldn't have a chance to develop Sukriti. This is important to remember. What is the slok we learned 2-3 days ago? Mahad vichalanam nrinam grihinam dina chetasam nishreyasaya bhagavan kalpate nanyata kurchit. That the sadhus travel only to help others achieve the ultimate good. Nishreyasaya bhagavan, to achieve the ultimate good, not any material, ordinary, temporary good. They travel, they wander here and there only for helping others with no personal motivation or personal benefit. So this is the proof, right? Bhavad Vida Bhagavatas Tirtha Bhuta Svayam. They're the living holy places traveling around to help everyone, as like the Vrindavan personified. It said, Jaistan Vaishnavgan, Sestan Vrindavan, Jaistan Ananda Shesh. Wherever the Vaishnavas are, that is Vrindavan, and that is the place of all happiness. So for example, in the Western world, if Swami Prabhupada hadn't traveled and come there, how would people develop Sukriti there? If in the Western world, if everything only stayed in India, then okay, in modern, we can imagine, okay, people could have traveled to India and met with sadhus anyhow. And nowadays with modern airfare, and okay, people can still meet with sadhus. But at that time, if Prabhupada hadn't have come to the West, by his mercy, by God's desire as an agent of Krishna's mercy, then how would people have developed Sukriti? Sukriti is necessary, because the thing is, why is Sukriti important? Because without Sukriti, you don't make a proper fertile field where you can develop your bhakti. Sukriti is developing the proper impressions, samskars, and then it leads you to satsanga so that you know how you can honor satsanga properly and serve in satsanga properly. Without service, we're filled up like it said, the garbage pot is full now. So we don't have room for the mercy inside because it's full of garbage. I'll give 2 quick examples. First is Sukriti. First example is Sukriti. One time Swami Prabhupada was preaching in New York, I think, one of the early years. And he was having a program, a class. And one bum came into the temple from outside. He was hearing the kirtan going on every day for some days. Maybe you know this story. He came in and he gave a roll of toilet paper. He set it down and he said, here, this is for you guys. He saw they were like, a bunch of people living here like monks. He's saying, we're like the same jat, same caste. I'm a bum, you're bums, transcendental bums, live like dressing in sheets, Anyhow, he came in and he put down a roll of toilet paper, said, this is for you, and he left. And then Prabhupada stopped the class and said, look, now he has started his devotional path. Now he started the path of bhakti. So this developed Sukriti. He gave this service, Prabhupada accepted this service, this developed Sukriti. But if Prabhupada hadn't have come to New York, then he wouldn't have developed that Sukriti. So Guru's mercy is first. But Guru's mercy is also giving us the chance to develop Sukriti. It's part of the process. Guru Krishna Prasade by Bhaktilata Bij. But how do we also get the association of Guru? See, it's like a chicken and the egg argument. What came first? The chicken or the egg? Ultimately, not the chicken or the egg. The cock. The chick. What? The male. What is it called?
No, but you can neglect in the sadhus on different level, not only Mahabharata.
Yeah.
This moral.
Serving ordinary sadhus also. But what came first, the chicken or the egg? Sukriti or mercy?
No.
Ultimately, God's grace.
Yeah. First you looking from top.
Chicken is like material nature, and the eggs are like the jivas. Then there's God is like the father. So first father, then mother, then baby. But then who came first again? It's eternal. Maya is eternal, Krishna is eternal. There's 5 truths in the Gita. Kal, time, eternal. Karma, eternal, but you can transcend it. But the principle is eternal. Maya, material nature, eternal. Jiva, the living entity, eternal. God, eternal. They're all eternal. There's no starting point. It's eternal cycle. Eternal, it's like infinite. Eternal. So anyhow, we're getting sidetracked. But Sukriti Purva Sanjatai. So he developed Sukriti at that point. And from there, he started the process of bhakti. And that was by Prabhupada's mercy. So now the other question is, okay, what is the point, what is the purpose of Sukriti? Why is Sukriti so important? Because Prabhupada says, like, if you don't develop Sukriti by doing some seva, then you don't create a vessel in your heart for really receiving the knowledge of Sastra, the wisdom, the realization, and also receiving the mercy. This is also mercy. So Prabhupada tells a story. There was a Brahmin boy who his father, one day he was playing with his friends, and his father called him over and said, oh, take this pot, clay pot, go to the Ganga and fill it up with water and bring it back for my puja. He said, bring back some water. So he went and collected a pot and filled it, went to the Ganga, dunked it in, brought it back to his father, and then went off playing again, very neglectfully. He just did it very quickly. So then his father called him a few minutes later, come. He said, hey, what are you doing, stupid boy? He said, I did what you told me. He said, look at the pot. The pot's full of garbage. First throw out the garbage, clean the pot, then bring water. What am I supposed to do with this now? The pot was totally filled up with like mud and like old plates and all that old kind of stuff. There was no room for new water. So he said, first you empty the vessel, then you can fill it up with water and bring it back to me. So Prabhupada tells the exact example, telling that Sukriti is like cleaning the heart. Shaita Dharpana Marjanam, cleaning the mirror of the heart, or cleaning out the room. It's cleaning out our room, or like all our anarthas, our bad desires, and creating some platform, some fertile field, the kshetra. Kshetra means a field. So like if you want to plant some seeds in a field and expect them to grow nicely, first you have to till the field, remove the stones, remove the thorns, remove anything like that unnecessary. Till it so it's like the seeds can, be cultivated and sprout properly. Water it, then it can develop. So if you don't want to do any of that cleaning process, the preparatory process, then you think immediately I'm going to get all divine knowledge and become God's associate and eternal liberated soul. How's it possible? So Sukriti is this developing and cleaning process. It's through service to sadhus, through doing seva also. Like if you're in the dham and you're in sadhu sangha, but you're never doing seva, you're not developing Sukriti. Real bhakti in seva is non-different, but on an ordinary level, before we're really following bhakti, if we're not really surrendered, real bhakti is completely surrendered. You're following all the limbs of bhakti, and you've followed sharanagati. Then you've entered the doorway of bhakti, you've entered into bhakti. But if you haven't followed sharanagati, full surrender of the 6 limbs of sharanagati, we're not going to get into it, we've covered it before. If you're not following that properly, you're not really performing real bhakti. But you're doing seva, then you're doing a lower level of seva where you're developing sukriti. And this is creating the platform that you can build on. So that's why Sukriti is very important. But Guru's mercy is... No, like one kind of seva is like non-different from bhakti. Like anya abhilash shunyam jnana karma dhyanavartam anukulena krishna anushilan bhakti rutama. Pure seva is like you're doing it only for Krishna's pleasure, uninterrupted, continuous stream like honey, and it's with so many moods also, not externally only, with moods of love, without any desires, not covered by jnana and karma. All these things are there. That's real seva and real bhakti. But otherwise, maybe you're not on that level yet. You're not doing it uninterruptedly. You're not doing it with the mood internally yet. But you've come to the dham, or you're not in the dham, but you're cleaning, you're cooking, you're serving the sadhus. This is seva, service. This develops sukriti. This is developing sukriti. And it develops the platform. It's necessary to do this for a long time. In any gurukul, any ashram, the boys go to the gurukul, they have to serve for years and years and years and years and years. And it develops sukriti. It develops pious merits. Then your bank balance is increasing to such a point that you can do anything you want. Sukriti is very important. It said so then, another example, Markat Nyaya and Kurkur Nyaya. There's a lot of different things we could talk about, but I want to go quick. So there's the example of the monkey and the kitten. This is showing the example of the importance of both mercy or grace and works or action. We know this example. Ramanujacharya is famous for this example also, and our Gurudev said both must be followed. One is the philosophy of mercy. One is the philosophy of endeavor. But in our path, we follow both. And we'll just go over this very quickly, and then we'll stop, and then if we have time, we'll learn a new sloka. We still didn't finish the Vaishnava Aparad stories, but we'll do this again later. Okay, so Markat Nai means the monkey philosophy, monkey baby. And Markat, no, one of them is the kitten philosophy. So kitten, what happens with the kitten? When the kittens are born, they're blind. Their eyes don't open for some time. And the mother will carry them by her mouth wherever they need to go. They don't have to worry about anything. They just stay in their place. The mother gives them her milk. She feeds them. She carries them from one place to another. She does everything for them. They don't have to worry about anything. This is the process of mercy. They don't have to do anything or worry about anything. The other process is the baby monkey. With a baby monkey, you can see, if they don't grab on, they have to hold on to the mother very tightly. They have to hold on very tightly to the mother. If they don't hold on tightly, if they fall down, the mother will go on. This is the process of your own work, your own endeavor. But in our process, we have to follow both. We have to grab onto Guru's feet, or grab onto Sri Guru and Vaishnavas, but they also will extend themselves to us and carry us forward. But we have to show our endeavor, because ultimately we have free will that God gave us, and God doesn't want to take away our free will. He said that's the greatest kind of sin, actually. One of the greatest kinds of sin is to take someone's free will or try to steal someone's independence. This is when it's done as an offering of love, then Krishna accepts it. Then this is bhakti. When you offer your free will to God in His loving service, then this is bhakti. But if you try to steal it and force it, take it away, then this is violence, hingsa. So therefore we have to put ourselves forward, we have to endeavor. And also we have to show our greed by endeavor. So therefore, we'll end with this story of Yashoda Mata. When Yashoda was trying to bind Krishna to the grinding mortar, she was 2 fingers too short. Even though she collected all the different ropes and strings in all of Vrindavan and was trying to bind Krishna around his waist, Krishna's very thin. There's only a few inches, he's a small boy and very thin waist, and she was collecting miles and miles of string and rope. Why couldn't she bind him? And said she was trying for hours and hours, and finally she was sweating, and the flowers from her hair were falling down, and she was very exhausted, but she was trying so hard, and she thought, I won't stop, I'll do or die. She had this do or die mentality. And then she began to pray, actually. She began to pray to Narayan, because they don't think Krishna is God. Even though Narayan is Krishna's incarnation, Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. Narayan is a small incarnation of Krishna. But in the Braj pastimes, to keep it sweet, they don't think Krishna is God. He's just their own son, boy. So she prayed to Narayan, oh Narayan, please, if I can't tie my son, then all the other ladies, all the other gopis will think, what kind of mother is she? She can't do anything. She can't even tie her own son when he's naughty, and he's always stealing butter from us. And also, I'm not going to be able to help him learn proper character if I'm not able to chastise him. So she began to pray to God, Narayan. And Krishna began smiling. Oh, she's praying to my incarnation, Narayan, to be able to bind me. So then Krishna mercifully allowed himself to be bound. So one finger was her endeavor, and the second finger was Krishna's mercy. So when she was trying so hard and also praying, what does it mean to endeavor? Also prayer. Prayer is an actual type of kriya or work. You have to go down on your knees and pray. It's an activity, it's a function. Krishna says in the Gita, you cannot even live without karma. Even breathing is karma. So prayer is a type of work also. We pray. And then Krishna may give us our mercy. So we endeavor, we strive, we have this do or die mentality, and then Krishna will give us His mercy. And this shows us this shows Krishna that we really want it. If we don't really want it, then why will He give it to us? He said, don't cast your pearls before swine. They won't value it. So the cost makes people value the product. If there's no cost, no value, so we have to endeavor and have developed greed, then Krishna will give His mercy, because otherwise we won't value it, and then we'll just disturb Krishna and the Brajavasis when we go there. We have to value it and earn it. Sri Vikram Goswami Maharaj would say, first deserve. And how do we deserve? By our endeavor, by our greed, by our process, by our practice, by our endeavor, all these things. So you have any further question on this, or it's okay? You were asking, no? Sukriti and mercy. Okay, Vanchakapaturubhasya, Kripasindhuvevcha, Pritanang Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo Namaha. So we have 10 minutes. It's time to learn a sloka. Just enough time. It's good.